What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about why dying is illegal in Longyearbyen, Norway. I don't know anything about Norwegian law or why a law like this would exist, but this just sounded too interesting to not find out what the deal with this was. And it has to do with Longyearbyen, which I know is in Svalbard, which is a part of Norway I learned a little bit about. I know if you scroll out, yeah, so it's really north. Oh my, it is so far north, shockingly north, on Svalbard. And Longyearbyen, I think, is a town or city in Svalbard, and apparently it's illegal to die there. And I want to know why. At this point, I have to know why, so let's see.
In Longyearbyen, Norway, it's illegal to die.
Huh?
Now, keen viewers will notice that I've already talked about this place in HAI number 5. But any good writer knows that if something works once, reuse it to death. Sort of like with Family Guy. Longyearbyen is just so interesting. And in fact, I should probably just go and film a video there. But, you know, it's cold.
It's cold. I know Longyearbyen might be one of the most northern towns on the planet, I believe, if not the most northern town. Incredibly cold. Not many people live there. I don't know why it would be illegal to die. I mean, obviously, let's address the elephant in the room. Like, it's hard to be illegal to die, because if you die in Longyearbyen, what are they going to do? Throw you in jail? So it's already kind of funny to think about this being a law. But I want to know the reason behind this.
Longyearbyen is so insanely far north that by going over the North Pole, it's closer to Barrow, Alaska than Milan, Italy. It's so insanely far north that the sun does not rise for 4 months in the winter and stays up for 4 months in the summer.
Right, I had forgot about that. That is just insane. Like, there are long stretches of time where the sun does not go down or the sun does not come up, and it's just daytime all the time. That is one of the most amazing things about Svalbard, I think.
It's so insanely far north that the average winter temperature has warmed by 6 degrees in the past 30 years.
Wow.
Oh wait, that's not a very fun fact. That's not a very fun fact at all.
Yeah.
For how far north it is, Longyearbyen is a surprisingly large town. Over 2,000 people live there.
Wow, 2,144 people. I wonder why people go and live in Longyearbyen. When I learned about Svalbard, man, I think people from all over the world are allowed to live in Svalbard, which includes Longyearbyen. So, I don't know. It's just very fascinating to me to think that anyone would want to live in such a unique, cold place where it's illegal to die.
In fact, there is no larger town further north than Longyearbyen.
Okay.
Because of this, Longyearbyen has the northernmost university, cell tower, circus, art gallery, bowling alley, swimming pool, bus station, gas station, commercial airport, department store, bank, fire station, ATM, Toyota dealership, bar, and kebab restaurant in the world.
It has the most northern of everything in the world, and I'm pretty sure that includes a circus, if I heard correctly.
It's a legitimate town, but it's still 1,200 miles north of Oslo, so there are some quirks.
12? Oh my gosh, I did not realize how north of Oslo and of mainland Norway it was. That is just crazy. And there's bears!
For one, polar bears live there too, and they occasionally eat people, which is bad. So it's actually illegal to leave Longyearbyen without a gun.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. Again, I don't know why people want to live there. There's polar bears. Have people actually died in Longyearbyen from, like, death from a polar bear? That's very sad, like, and scary. And you can't go out of town without a gun. I mean, I don't know why. You'd probably want a gun anyway, so they probably don't have too much trouble following that rule. If you get eaten by a polar bear, isn't that illegal? Because it's illegal to die in Longyearbyen. I don't know.
Possibly for related reasons, there's also a monthly limit to how much alcohol one can buy at 24 cans of beer, 2 bottles of liquor, and half a bottle of fortified wine.
Oh my gosh, there's limits to the alcohol you can buy. I don't know if that has to do with like getting drunk and stuff. I think that probably has to do with how difficult it is to get alcohol and other imported goods to Svalbard, to Longyearbyen. It must be so difficult to get stuff shipped there. That's just another reason where it's like, I can't survive without my Amazon Prime. Like, I need my new tube of toothpaste within 2 days or I'm in trouble, let alone living in Longyearbyen. Imagine that.
While local residents carry an alcohol card to track their quota, visitors have to present their airline boarding pass from their arriving flight at the liquor store. Longyearbyen even bans cats to save the local population of Arctic birds.
Oh man, man. I was okay with everything else, but no cats? No, I cannot go. I cannot live there. No. To save the local birds. Okay.
They just love banning things. But now for the clickbait. Dyeing is illegal in Longyearbyen. As you can probably tell, Longyearbyen is no beach resort. The average temperature in February is 1 degree Fahrenheit, so things tend to freeze and stay frozen. In places as cold as Longyearbyen, there's what's known as permafrost. By splitting this word into two, you can get a sense of what it means. You see, perma means permit me to show you how to put this word into Google so you can find out that permafrost...
That's funny. He just ended up Googling it. So somehow the very, very, very cold temperature and the ground has something to do with how it's illegal to die in Longyearbyen. Okay.
Is where the ground stays below freezing permanently.
Oh, permafrost is where the ground stays below freezing? So is the ground very hard? Like, do they not want to have to dig up the ground to bury people? Or I'm trying to like guess a little bit before they reveal what the answer is. Like, would the bodies get too cold or something? But couldn't they take the bodies off the island? Why would it be illegal to die?
While it may rise above freezing above ground, places with permafrost, such as Longyearbyen, will always be below freezing below ground, which happens to be where you put dead bodies.
Right.
The same
Right. It must have something to do with that.
Same principle that keeps your chicken nuggets edible for years on end in the freezer does the same to bodies.
So I'm guessing they don't want to bury people in Longyearbyen because their bodies would be preserved too well? But why is that a problem if the bodies are frozen?
Not keep them edible, I mean, I guess technically, but just don't eat people. While it may seem pretty great for bodies to not rot away, it's not. You see, in 1918, a few people got the flu, about 500 million to be exact, in what came to be known as the Spanish flu pandemic. Of the up to 100 million individuals who died, 11 were in Longyearbyen, so they established a graveyard that looks like this. When you put a corpse into a giant underground freezer, it turns out that you don't just preserve the body, but you also preserve the viruses inside the body.
What? Wow. Wait, what? So back when people were dying of the Spanish flu, 11 people died in Longyearbyen of the Spanish flu, and they were buried, and their bodies were preserved so well that the virus of the Spanish flu survived? Did it infect the town again? Did they unbury the bodies and get sick again, or?
And so lurking below Longyearbyen are some of the only active samples of a flu strain that killed 5% of the world's population.
Oh my god, that is scary. That is scary. The Spanish flu is in Longyearbyen, in bodies under the ground.
Which is actually quite useful. Researchers still don't fully understand why the 1918 flu was so deadly, and they don't just have samples lying around, so these bodies buried in the Arctic permafrost potentially hold some of the clues that could stop a future global...
No, please! Please! When was this video made? 5 years ago? Oh my god. This was made before the pandemic. That is funny, before COVID. Oh my god, he's literally talking about COVID without knowing it. That is funny. Well, if they did study the Spanish flu virus from the bodies, it didn't seem to give us too much of an edge at the time, unfortunately. And if, hopefully, if they haven't unburied these bodies, hopefully they just leave the Spanish flu in the bodies under the ground. Please, please don't. Please don't unbury those, please. This is this is actually super interesting. Like, this is very entertaining information and kind of scary.
Pandemic. But in the meantime, you really don't want diseases that could obliterate future civilizations just laying a few feet underground preserved for eternity, and Longyearbyen agrees. So that's why death is now illegal in this small Norwegian town.
What? I mean, it's so silly, though. Like, death is illegal? Like, okay, sure, but I'm sure people die here just from natural causes. Or do they force you to go off the island somewhere else for like hospice and end of life care? Or what if someone gets murdered? Like, I mean, if you die in Longyearbyen, they can just transport your body away. Like, I don't know why they would make it illegal to die. It's just silly.
If you're near death, you're flown down to the mainland to live out your final days. And if you die...
That's exactly what I was wondering. I was actually like joking. That's actually what they do. They actually fly you down to mainland Norway if you're near the end of your life. Wow. They are not joking around. They're not kidding with this.
And if you die unexpectedly, well, there's no space for you here.
Yeah.
If you want to start a travel...
So they just will not bury you there, which is just what I figured, honestly.
...agency for dead bodies, you're going to need a website. And there's no better place to build your website...
Okay, is the end just an ad? Yeah, just an ad. Okay. Well, there you have it. Why dying is illegal in Longyearbyen. That was pretty good. That was very entertaining. It was a little clickbaity, like with the title, but I had to know. And this is by Half as Interesting, and I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. I don't know if there's any funny comments that we can look at. I feel like since the subject was kind of interesting and funny, yeah, me seeing this in 2021, hearing, this could help prevent a future pandemic. Yeah, that is funny that they mentioned it in the video. And this video was created 5 years ago, so they actually predicted the future. Norway bans death. Norway, we did it. Death is no more. I know, it's like they're banning dying. Like, come on. So what are you in for? I killed a man. What about you? I died. Exactly. Dying is illegal. It's just how they phrase it. Like, dying is illegal. Like, they're going to put you in jail if you die. Like, what? Person dying. All right. Death. All right. It's your time to go. Person. No. Dying is illegal here. Death. Oh, my bad. Carry on. Oh, man. Him. This could help prevent a future pandemic. Me. Instantly goes to comments. That is literally me as well. Oh, man. The best way to increase life expectancy I've ever seen. Oh, man. It's pretty scary the Spanish flu managed to reach somewhere as remote as Svalbard. Right. That is fascinating. That is honestly amazing that the Spanish flu reached Longyearbyen. 11 people died, and their bodies are buried under the ground there, and the Spanish flu is in their bodies, alive. That is just like scary, but amazing biology. Like amazing somehow, but mostly scary. So, but anyway, I still enjoyed this whole topic, this story, and I get it now. I get it. It's not, I didn't know what the answer was going to be, so it was fascinating learning. They don't want to bury people in Svalbard. They don't want to bury people in Longyearbyen because the bodies will be too well preserved and it will preserve viruses. That's fascinating. So it's illegal to die. For our safety, it's illegal to die. And anyway, I enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and Norwegian culture, and just stuff about Norway that I've never seen or learned before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, Thanks for watching, and see you next time.